Saturday was good. You saw people. You slept in. You had nowhere to be and nothing to answer to. 2 full days of doing exactly what you wanted. And now it's Sunday at 5 p.m. and your body feels like something died. Not anxious, not bored, heavier than that. You are, as far as your brain can tell, experiencing a form of withdrawal from your own weekend. The chemistry behind that drop started evolving before anything on Earth had hands. About 200 million years ago, the first mammals ran into a problem that reptiles never had. Their young were useless, too slow to run, too helpless to feed themselves, dead within minutes if they wandered off alone. So if a baby got separated from its mother, it died. Every time. Brains solved this the only way brains solve anything. They built an alarm. The alarm is a circuit that fires when something bonded is suddenly gone. It doesn't run on thoughts. It runs on chemistry, specifically on the brain's own version of morphine. Scientists call these endogenous opioids, but what matters is what they do. When connection is stable, when the group is close, when the bond is intact, opioid levels stay high and the circuit stays quiet. When connection breaks, opioid levels drop, and that drop produces a feeling you already know the name of: sadness. In 1998, neuroscientist Jaak Panksepp mapped this circuit by doing something straightforward and hard to watch. He separated puppies from their mothers and recorded their distress calls, the whimpering, the crying, the searching. Then he gave them a low dose of morphine. The crying stopped. When he blocked their opioid receptors instead, the crying got worse. Not because the puppies were choosing to be sad, because their brains were running a withdrawal response, chemically mourning the loss of the mother. A painkiller silenced it, because sadness and pain share the same wiring. That heavy feeling in your chest on Sunday evening is this circuit, not a metaphor, the same one. So here's what appears to be happening. Your brain spent 2 days in an unstructured state, relaxed, unhurried, free to wander. Then the weekend ends. The brain registers the departure of that state the same way it would register any loss of a bonded connection. Opioid levels dip, the circuit fires. You feel sad. That explains the weight, but it doesn't explain the dread. And the dread is a different system entirely. The sadness is one circuit. The dread, that tightening, that restless forward lean into tomorrow, is another. Your brain has a threat forecasting system. When it detects danger approaching, it floods your bloodstream with cortisol before the danger arrives. This was built for predators, for storms, for things that could kill you in the next 10 minutes. The system is fast, automatic, and completely unable to tell the difference between a predator and a calendar. In 2013, stress researcher Veronica Engert tested how early the body starts paying for a threat that hasn't happened yet. She brought 76 men into a lab, told them they were about to do something stressful, a mock job interview and mental math in front of judges, and sampled their saliva every few minutes to track cortisol. She wasn't measuring the stress response. She was measuring the weighting. What she found was measurable and blunt. Cortisol levels started climbing 14 to 20 minutes into the waiting period. In up to 40% of participants, the spike was significant, and nothing stressful had occurred yet. The body was not reacting to stress. It was rehearsing for it. That knot in your stomach on Sunday night, that's not you being dramatic. That's cortisol hitting your bloodstream for a Monday that's still 12 hours away. Your body doesn't wait. So now you have 2 systems firing at once. The separation circuit is mourning the loss of your weekend self. The stress system is bracing for a threat that hasn't arrived. Together, they produce that specific Sunday evening feeling, heavy and restless at the same time, sad and anxious at the same time, looking backward and leaning forward at the same time. But the most surprising part is what makes it worse. And it's the thing you do every Sunday evening without thinking about it. Nothing. In 2010, psychologists Matthew Killingsworth and Daniel Gilbert built a phone app that pinged 2,250 people at random moments and asked 2 questions. What are you doing right now? Is your mind on it? What they found across 250,000 data points was that people's minds wandered away from the present 47% of their waking hours. Nearly half of conscious life spent somewhere other than now. And mind wandering didn't just happen alongside unhappiness. It predicted it. The wandering caused the drop in mood, not the other way around. Sunday evening is when the 47% becomes almost 100%. You have no task pulling your attention forward, no deadline, no structure. So your brain fills the empty space, and the place it goes is tomorrow, running Monday's meetings, Monday's emails, Monday's worst-case outcomes on a loop you never asked for. The sadness isn't caused by Monday. It's caused by your brain rehearsing Monday while you sit on the couch doing nothing. 3 systems, stacked. The opioid-regulated circuit reading the end of rest as separation, the cortisol system prepaying for a work week that hasn't started, and the default mode network, your brain's idle setting, filling every gap in attention with a dress rehearsal of everything that could go wrong. Sunday evening isn't one feeling. It's 3 ancient systems converging on a single point in the modern week, a point that didn't exist for 99.9% of human history, and none of it is your fault. Most people interpret Sunday sadness as a performance review of their life. If I were happier at work, I wouldn't feel this. If I were more grateful, this wouldn't happen. If I had my life together, Sunday wouldn't hurt. Except that research on workplace satisfaction shows that even people who report genuinely liking their jobs, roughly 70% of them, still experience some version of Sunday dread. The feeling does not scale with how much you love your work. It scales with how your brain processes the transition from unstructured time to structured time. You are not feeling bad because your life is bad. You are feeling bad because your brain cannot process the end of rest without reading it as loss, and cannot process the approach of obligation without reading it as threat. You were never overreacting. Your brain runs the same circuit for losing a Sunday afternoon that it runs for losing a member of the group. It fires the same cortisol response for a Monday morning meeting that it fires for an approaching predator. These are not exaggerations. These are the only tools it has. The separation alarm is 200 million years old. The calendar is about 4,500. Your brain has not had time to learn the difference. And the 47% of your waking life, your mind spends somewhere other than the present. On Sunday evening, almost all of it is aimed at tomorrow. That drop you feel when the light shifts on a Sunday afternoon. You don't need to diagnose it. You don't need to fix your career. You don't need to be more positive or more disciplined or more grateful. You just need to know what it is. It's a separation alarm built for a world where losing the group meant dying. It's a threat detector calibrated for lions, not Mondays. And it's your brain's idle mode filling the silence with a rehearsal of everything that hasn't gone wrong yet. The feeling is real. The danger it's pointing at is not. So next Sunday, when the light goes gray and your chest gets heavy and your brain starts running tomorrow before it arrives, know that you're not broken. You're not dreading Monday. You're grieving Sunday.